Hey there, thanks for tuning in. This is Elvire is here, helping you connect the dots between mind and body. Again, the subject of anxiety, another take on it, and so far not so much another take on it, but I just read another statistic online, and I take a lick of salt with those statistics. Sometimes they're pumped up, sometimes they're not really as much as they have to be or should be. But I was looking at anxiety, which is the hot topic over the past, I don't know how many years now. 90% of the American population, and I'm only talking about America, that's the easiest. 90% of the population here thinks we're in a mental health crisis. Well, that's pretty sad. COVID probably attributed to that a lot. That is half of the young adults and about a third of the adults have felt anxiety sometimes or most of the times in 22 and in 23. Wow, can you imagine the amount of prescription drugs that have been written for that? Can you imagine? Oh, allow me to go on to this little tantrum for a moment. Can you imagine the net profit of Pfizer and AstraZeneca and the other ones? Yeah. I don't want to even talk about the damage it is doing to the people who are taking the pills. It's beyond description, totally beyond description. And here's my take on it. And maybe if you have been watching me before, I so very much appreciate you. Maybe you are a follower, maybe you have subscribed. If you haven't, please like this post, this video, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. And you also stay up to date when you are subscribing, because then you get a notification that I have a new video out. But you can sort of count on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But back to the anxiety. Where does that come from? I mean, it's been building up, and it's also building up inside of people. And I don't want to bash the whole educational system. I would love to. But I don't know enough about it, but I know a couple of things that are sorely lacking, and you may want to find that out yourself after you've heard what I'm going to say. You see, what you are not taught when you are in school from knee high or any older is, who are you? Who are you really? You know, you are an omnipotent human being made in the image and likeness of, some people call it God, I would like to call it source energy. All that is the energy, the conscious energy that we are living in, because that's what it is. So, excuse me, we are supposed to be really smart, but that smartness has been drilled out of us over centuries, and especially women who are always portrayed as being dumber than men. And we women somehow accepted that role for a long time, but now we're just standing up, fed up about it. We are just as smart, if not smarter, than men, because we are the one who carries a child, right? How smart is that? So what is when you have anxiety, you know, where does it come from? What builds up to anxiety? Because it is an accumulation. Anxiety is an accumulation of something. It's an accumulation of emotions, negative emotions. So where does that start? That starts because nobody teaches you who you are. So you doubt about yourself. Who am I? I have no clue who I am. So you try to follow that, what you sort of am I attracted to? That what your parents told you to be. Is that really you? I don't know. I don't really think so. You were not really taught to think either for yourself. Everybody told you what to think, not how to think. You have higher faculties, and thinking is one of them. Memory is another one of them. There's so much more to us than just hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. A dog can do that. We are much more. So if you don't know who you are and you don't know what to do with yourself, you get anxious. You lack the confidence. You start to worry. You start to doubt. Am I going the right direction? Is this, is everybody happy with what I'm doing here? Because that's how you were raised, You were raised in, usually most of those are raised in, I got to make the parents happy. Smart, because you want to have a roof over your head and food in your mouth and maybe some pocket money. So you're following what your parents, grandparents sort of spoon-fed into you. You listen to what they're saying, but you just wonder if you still are doing it right, Am I good enough? Am I doing it the right way, or am I going to be rejected? Those are the worries that you have as a child. And unfortunately, those worries are not really addressed in a way that it stops at that for you. So you carry that forward, worry and doubt, without really sitting back and thinking about a situation is becoming the mainstream in your life. Worry and doubt, worry, doubt first, and then we just take it further. Well, the next step is fear. It's fear. Ignorance is number one. You don't know who you are. Then you sink into worry and doubt because you don't know who you are. You don't know what to do. And then you fear that everything that you do may be wrong, or what's going to happen, and what am I supposed to be doing when this happens and that happens. I don't know. I think it was President Roosevelt. He said the only fear we have to fear itself. Think about that. And now in this society that we're living in, it's a fear in the United States. In the United States, it's a fear-based society. Everything is based on fear. Everything is based on fear. Everything you read, everything you see, everything you hear is based on fear. What if it goes wrong? What if? Because we are not taught who we are, that we can think and that we can create our own scenario for our life. So the next step after fear is anxiety. Total, don't know what to do. You sleep bad, you behave bad, you overeat, you try to suppress it because that's what you do. And you go to the doctor, and the doctor just has 5 minutes for you. He just looks at you. You say that you are not feeling good and that you are anxious and nervous, etc. And he said, oh, no problem, and writes you a medication. There you go. Goodbye. And that builds up. Every time he writes a medication, he gets a percentage of that. Yeah? Think again about that. They get so-called incentives. I call that plain hard bribe money. That's what it is. So what you're doing is you're giving the responsibility for your life, your body, away to a doctor who actually doesn't have time for you, who is supposed to care, doesn't really, because he has too many patients coming through. And it doesn't really work that way anymore, does it? So you have to take back your responsibility for your own well-being, your health and well-being, because the anxiety that you suppress goes into a depression. Next step is depression. Medications getting heavier, you're drugged out, not able to function normally in society anymore. You're not working, you're sucking the tax dollars out of society, and it gets worse and worse. depression turns into a dis-ease. Despite all the medication, it always turns into a dis-ease. And the next step is disintegration, falling apart completely. Death is the final step, suicide or whatever. So just unwind the coil again with me, disintegration, dis-ease, depression, suppression of how you're feeling, your anxiety, your fear for whatever, your worry and doubt for whatever, all based on your ignorance of not knowing who you are. So what is my simple solution, my simple suggestion for that? Take some time, like an hour a day, and start to study yourself, start to read up about yourself. There's so much material that you can learn. One of my biggest mentor actually is Bob Proctor. Start looking at him, start listening to him. Read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Fabulous book, and similar kind of books. But really take the time. You don't have to zip through the book or the material. No, if you do 1 page a time, 1 page per day, and think about that. And just get up earlier every morning, an hour earlier. Make the decision. Commit to getting up first half an hour earlier every morning, and just sit and read or listen to YouTube's educational stuff. Don't go into Instagram or Facebook and post selfies or post pictures of your breakfast or your new dress or your new shoes. Who cares? You think those people online are really your friends? They're not. They're not. It's just such a myth, such a hype. But you are an incredible human being, capable of so very much if you just focus and learn about yourself. You can do this. I have committed to doing this many, many decades ago. I wasn't born like this. I wasn't raised like this. I wasn't really happy with the way I was raised, so I changed it. No, I don't suffer from anxiety or depression. Never have, because I know who I am, and that grows onto you who you are. And that's not just the neighbor back on the street or your friends, whatever. No, check in who you are. What is feeling good and what is not feeling good. I will continue about this tomorrow because it's such a huge topic. And I would just love to help you get healthy, get happy, have the freedom to enjoy life, because that's why you came here. So do me a favor, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and I so appreciate you tuning in and listening. Thank you so much. We'll talk further tomorrow. Take care. Bye.